So I know that navigating the world of Persian and Oriental rugs, and especially dealing with the rug dealers, can sometimes feel overwhelming. And unfortunately for the industry, there are some rug dealers that are known for being dishonest, which I think just adds to the intimidation. But imagine if there is an insider that has a lot of experience that is here to help you have the right tools, so that way you can go through this journey and be able to filter through your options to find the best rug dealers, the most reputable and trustworthy, and really have a peace of mind as you start shopping for Persian and Oriental rugs. Hi, I'm Shawn with Catalina Rug, and I've been around the rug business since childhood, and I've been actively involved in our family rug business, Catalina Rug, for over a decade now. And I really wanted to make this video to give you some key considerations that you can keep in mind as you're deciding which rug dealers you want to purchase from. And I know that of course you have your own way of judging which businesses are the most reputable and trustworthy, but think of this as kind of an insider scoop and my own personal experience as someone in the industry and some criteria that you can use for inspiration. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you some insight in how to use pricing to find the best rug dealers to work with, because it can be a pretty quick filter to find the best options. Now, before we get started, I want to share something with you. So when I first considered making this video, I wasn't really too sure if I was going to go through with it because, of course, in a way, I'm shining a light onto some bad practices in the industry, and also there might be some rug dealers that are not going to be too happy about that. But as a new generation in the rug business, I really want to see the buyers have a better experience, and also to get more people to trust the rug dealers and be able to really have them enjoy the beautiful works of art that is Persian and Oriental rugs. Alright, so let's get started. So the first criteria that we're going to go over is checking the customer reviews and testimonials, which I know is a pretty obvious one, but I have some insights for you that hopefully it's going to help. So the first thing is, of course, you want to check for the quantity and of course the quality of the reviews. So there you can read about the quality of the rugs, check about their customer service, also their shipping times, and if they have a return policy, if they're following through with it. And of course, you could also check if they have returning customers, because a lot of customers, when they're leaving reviews for rugs, they will mention that this is like the third or fourth or fifth rug that they bought. So that's a great way to find out if they have a lot of returning customers. And while you're checking those reviews, I recommend that you make sure that the reviews are on a third-party site that's trusted. For example, Google reviews is good, as well as Shopper Approved or Trustpilot. That way you can make sure that they haven't generated any reviews themselves and there's no way for them to actually change or manipulate the reviews. So what you can make sure is that these reviews are available on those third-party sites. Also, if you find that the reviews are embedded on their site, look for the brand or the logo of that third-party source. So something else I recommend you look into when it comes to customer reviews and testimonials is to see that if they have any actual images of their rugs in their customers' homes or even videos. That way you get to get a nice look and feel for, what the rugs are going to look like in the real world, and actually see their products in a customer's home and see the end results that way. So another criteria that we can use is learning about their company online and with social media. So here you could look at their website and make sure, first of all, that it looks professional and that they have a About Us page where they have information about their company. Also, you could look into their contact page to see if they have good contact information like phone numbers and emails and a way for you to directly speak to them. And as you're looking online, you could also look at their social media presence to see if they're active and they're posting about their business and about their products. And here in this step, you could also start looking into who are the owners of the company. Did they mention the owners' names? Do they have like pictures of the owners so you know who you're dealing with? Also, another thing is to look at when the company was actually established, if they have a specific date that the company was established, and to make sure that they're being honest and transparent about their established date here in the US, and they're not using some vague established date from another country. So that's something that I think will speak to how transparent and honest they are. So something else that I think will be helpful when it comes to learning about their company is to see if they have any sort of story or background about their company. so you can understand like why they got into the rug business, and if they have any like core beliefs that they want to share with you, and whether or not they're a small family business or a larger business. This kind of information is usually helpful to understand who you're working with, and you could usually find this on their website if they have it there, or maybe on social media. And if not, you could always ask their sales rep to give you a little bit of background about their company. So something else that's worth mentioning while we're on the topic of learning about the companies is to look out for any sort of fake moving sales or fake closing sales. So this is something that was much more common in the past, especially with front stores like retail stores, is that these rug companies or rug dealers would have a fake closing sale, and they would just like change their name or something and pretend like they're gonna give you like a really good deal because of the closing sale. Again, this is not as common nowadays, but if you do see a closing or moving sale, make sure that it's real. And if you have any feeling like this is just a pretend, or they know for doing this in the past, definitely I would say that's a red flag to look out for. So something else you can look into that I think is really helpful is to look into their terms of service. So terms of service is usually where they have all of their shipping information, return information, and also all the different policies that you're agreeing to when you're purchasing products from them. So all online companies will have to have this if they have a checkout online. Usually you'll see this when you're going through the checkout process. There's a check mark that you have to hit, and there's a link to the terms of service. So I definitely recommend looking into that, because that's where everything is spelled out usually pretty clearly, and is a quick way to get a general understanding of all of the different policies that they have. So now let's go over the selection of rugs and some specific information you can ask about the inventory that's going to give you a lot of insight. So the first thing is, if you're looking for a specific type of rug, so let's say in this case you're looking for Persian rugs, I think it's a good idea to find a source that has a wide selection of Persian rugs, so that way of course you have a lot of choices to choose from, and in case you want to return something, it's easy to exchange for something else. Or let's say you want to come back and purchase other Persian rugs, you know that you can go to the source that you've already done business with. And then the second thing about that is that if they are really experts in this type of rug, they're going to be able to find the best quality rugs. Usually they'll get the best deals. And there's a lot of things that when it comes to expertise in this specific type of rug, that's going to give them advantages that they're going to be able to pass on to you. So when it comes to inventory, there's a couple things that I think you can check that will be helpful for you. So the first thing is that you want to make sure that the rugs that you're looking at are actually in stock and in their warehouse available to ship. And the reason for that is that, of course, it adds a lot of time to shipping and handling if the rugs are actually not available at that time. And there could be some complications added if the rug that you're purchasing is being shipped by somebody else. Because some rug dealers are known to do this, where they actually start listing rugs from other dealers or somebody else, and they don't actually own the rugs. And I think this is something that needs to be transparent and communicated to you, because again, it could add to the shipping times. You could expect some other issues to come up because they don't actually hold this inventory on hand and ready to ship. So a pretty good way to look into this is to just find out what are the delivery times and make sure that they're reasonable. This is usually available on the product pages, or if you're speaking to a sales rep, you can ask them. And the main thing here is that they're going to be clear and transparent to you whether or not their rugs are actually in their warehouse and they're ready to ship, and you're going to expect a pretty normal delivery time, or are there going to be long delays, and that's where you would know that probably the rugs are not actually on hand and they're being shipped from somebody else or somewhere else. So the main thing here is just transparency, and that this gets communicated to you before you make the purchase. So something else you want to look into is to make sure that they have plenty of images of every individual rug on their site. So not only should there be the main image of the rug, but also images from different angles, as well as close-ups and the back of the rug. And you're looking for like consistency within these images, so that way you know these rugs are, in their inventory and they're actually taking pictures of their rugs. So this is kind of a clear indication to know if they actually hold these rugs, they have them on hand. And also you get to really get a better feel for the rug that you're buying, especially looking at the close-up pictures to see, what the knot density looks like and to get a better feel for the rug that way. So another thing you want to look into is to make sure that they have detailed information about the rug. So for example, where was the rug made? Where's the origin of the rug? Is it made in Iran or Pakistan or Turkey? Wherever the rug is made, that information should be available. Also, what type of rug it is. For example, rugs that are Persian rugs, they're either made in like Kashan or Tabriz or whichever city they're coming from, that should be listed. And then you want to make sure there's knot density information. So basically the point here is that they have detailed information about the rug, so they show you the specific origin of it and what type of rug it is and all the specific information about it that they're standing by. So the main point here is that you know exactly the type of rug that you're getting. So if you're expecting that you're buying an authentic Persian rug, then the rug should be hand knotted and the origin should be from Iran. If you're enjoying this video and want to learn more about Persian rugs, Oriental rugs, or the rug industry, then I invite you to like and subscribe and turn on your notification bell because we put out videos just like this every week. Now next, let's go over certification of rugs and rug appraisals. So next, let's talk about some important documentation that you want to make sure that comes with your rug when you're buying a Persian or Oriental rug from a dealer. So typically, rug dealers will have a rug appraisal, or in our case, at Catalina Rug, we have the certificate of authenticity, which basically is like the birth certificate of the rug. It has all of the detailed information of the rug there, including its origin. So this document is especially important if you want to make sure that your rug is authentic, because it's going to have the origin information there and all the different detailed information of the rug. And it's especially useful when it comes to insuring your rug with your insurance company, because it's a document that has also the value of your rug. So in case if it's damaged or stolen or something happens to it, you could always claim it with your insurance company. So definitely ask the rug dealer that you're purchasing from to provide you a rug appraisal and make sure that they even offer this. And usually this document is going to come signed from the rug dealer. All right, so next let's talk about communication and education. So one of the things you want to look into is to make sure that there's an open line of communication with the sales rep and directly with the company. So first indication of this is that there should be a phone number available on the site that you can contact, and definitely an email that you can contact, and that there's going to be a live person that's going to pick up the call and you can communicate with directly and ask questions about the rug, no matter how technical the questions are. And something you want to really look into here is that when you're speaking with a sales rep, that obviously they're knowledgeable about the rug, no matter how technical your questions are, but also is that they're willing to educate you. They're actually willing to spend time with you to teach you about the rugs and give you a lot of the background information and technical information that you're asking for and give you the recommendations. So I think that's a really clear and good sign to look into when you're trying to choose who to purchase from. So besides the education that the sales rep is willing to provide you over the phone, I think another great indication is that if the company has a lot of good educational content online. So for example, if they have a lot of blogs or articles or videos like we do here at Catalina Rug, providing this type of educational content and really showing their industry expertise and showing you that they really know their products really well. So I think this is another great indication to look for when you're trying to filter out your options, is like who is willing to teach you and educate you about the rugs. So next, let's talk about the after purchase process, and specifically let's start with returns. So in the world of Persian rugs and Oriental rugs, of course, one of the main things is that the rug that you purchase online especially may not look like what you thought in person. So the colors might be different, or there might be something about the design. For whatever reason, it might not work out, or maybe there's even something wrong with the rug. So what you want to make sure is that, first of all, that returns are accepted. And then also you want to look into their policies, and here's where you want to check the terms and policies to make sure that, first of all, there's no hidden fees, or if there are any fees, they're very clear about that. Also, you want to make sure that there's a clear process. If you want to return the rug, how is that going to happen? And of course, a nice bonus is that they provide free returns, so that way you know you're not really taking any risk, because you're already buying something online that you're investing in, and you want to make sure that if it doesn't work out, you could always return it back. So something else when it comes to post-purchase you want to look into is to make sure that they provide you rug care information, because of course when it comes to Persian and Oriental rugs, there are certain things that you need to watch out for when it comes to taking care of your rug after you purchase it. So it's great if they can provide you this type of information, and that they're going to be available to speak to you post-purchase and provide you any sort of answers to any questions you have when it comes to rug care. Alright, so finally, let's talk about pricing, which is one of my pet peeves when it comes to rug dealers and the rug business in general. So the first thing that you'll find is that sometimes there'll be rug dealers that have their prices listed extremely high, and they're basically expecting you to negotiate with them, and maybe even down to like half the price that they're listing it for, or more. And this is kind of like a price discrimination. They're trying to get as much as they can. So that's something that I believe is a red flag I would just not want to deal with, and I would find intimidating. And then the second thing you'll find this often online is that you'll see prices that are like 50% off or like 70% off, and there's like a continuous sale going on, and they're trying to create this illusion that you're getting a good deal. But if you actually compare their prices to another rug dealer that's like listed their prices honestly, then you'll notice that they're actually maybe even more expensive, or maybe that's just like the normal price, but they have these continuous sales going on. So that's something to really look out for, and I think that will communicate how transparent and honest they are when they are showing their prices. Alright, so this concludes our video on how to find the most honest and reputable rug dealers. I really hope that you found this content helpful, and hopefully now you're feeling armed with this insider knowledge and some new criteria to be able to find the best options for yourself when it comes to purchasing your next Persian or Oriental rug. And I invite you to like, subscribe, and comment below. We put out videos just like this every week, and I will see you in the next video.